You're making me sound fucking crazy on the podcast, and it's just a little.
Well,
rude.
I've been sounding fucking stupid.
I was telling you something personal.
This is hilarious.
And
I think this is so fucking funny.
Okay.
Tell him what you just told me.
So basically, I feel like sometimes.
What? Sometimes what?
I'm just a little psychic.
Are you sure it's not gas?
No. Sometimes I feel like I can feel things before they happen.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Explain.
Okay. There was one instance when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
We were walking down the stairs in like this big apartment building that was like 6 floors tall, and or 6 stories. And I was going down the stairs, and to set the scene, my younger sister, the middle sister was in front of me, and the oldest sister was behind me, right? And I stopped, and like my heart like hit, it was like I felt like I was reacting to something. I was like, holy shit! I was like, what just happened? And the sister behind me was like, what happened? I was like, I don't know. And then like literally like 2 seconds later, my sister fell down the stairs and got hurt, and I was like, dude. What would I have been reacting to?
Listen,
what would I have been?
I don't want to say you've been touched by an angel. I just want to say that you're touched.
You've been touched by somebody. And exactly point us in this doll where you've been touched.
You're touched in the head.
But I swear, like that time I felt like I was reacting to it before it happened. And I was like, there has to be something.
That absolutely was gas.
Absolutely. You just almost shit your pants.
You have psychic gas.
you just hear a brr, and you're like, holy shit,
something's happening.
So it's like, everybody be careful, someone's about to die. No, when you shit your pants, that's when somebody next to you, somebody near you is about to die.
Yeah, from the smell of your shit.
Okay, but then
anyway, let's go to your second really big fart that changed your life forever.
I mean, this one is a little, first, this is a dream one, but I mean, a lot of people I feel like have those instances where they have dreams and then the next day it comes true or something like that. I had this dream where I was in this neighborhood that I didn't recognize at all. And like it was like a sloped neighborhood that like I just didn't recognize that neighborhood. And I was like getting out of the car with my parents, and I saw a dog like walk up to me. But in the dream, it was a little more like spiritual. Like the dog kind of like walked up and like just stared at me. Not spiritual, but like almost like fantasy. Like it was just like, yeah, obviously it was a dream. So the dog kind of just stopped and stared at me.
It is literally a fantasy in your head.
And then, so like I saw that and I was like, this is weird. I like this dream means nothing to me. Like I remembered it, but I was like, this means absolutely nothing to me. Mm-hmm. And then the next day we went to one of my family's friend's house, like, and I've never been there before, never even in that neighborhood before. This was like right when I moved to Huntington.
And you didn't know you were going there.
I didn't know I was going there at all.
Oh my God.
And then it was the exact same. It was the exact same neighborhood.
I believe you.
In the sloped angle, and then a dog was walking in the street with the same colored collar as well. Explain that, motherfucker. And then
would you believe me if I told you it was gas?
And then there's like a couple smaller instances, like when I got in a car wreck, I remember on the way there thinking like, okay, I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds, but like on the way there, I remember thinking like, I feel like, what if I got in a car wreck today?
Has said word for word exactly what you just said. I got in a car wreck, and like right before it, I just knew. I felt something.
Well, yeah, it's just fucking crazy. That's what I said. Okay, this is the part that I said before we got on the podcast, or before we start recording.
This look of disappointment is, oh my God. Danny and my mom could probably hang out and talk about being psychic. I thought you were cooler than this, Danny.
You're
supposed to be the cooler one.
No, what I said before we started, which might sound a little even more insane, was that maybe I don't particularly think, oh, I'm special than everybody else. But what if everybody else, like, there's some like kind of faith. Some people believe in religion. Something's trying to warn you. God's trying to warn you.
So
something like that.
You're spiritual.
But some people like maybe everybody has that moment where they see something happen before it happens, but they just ignore it. They go like, oh, it's just coincidence or whatever. My mom played her trick. But I'm there. I'm aware of it. Like I said, at the beginning of the movie, everybody looks at the superhero like he's fucking insane until he's fucking fighting a villain in middle of downtown, and they're like, wow, he's a hero.
All right, calm down, Megamind.
That's what I'm saying. Whatever, dude. I'm going to stop the recording now.
Here's the thing. For me, it's always just like, I've had things that people would say are supernatural. Like I've had a sleep paralysis, and it's like a woman on top of you strangling you. That was fun. I choose multiple times that's happened to me, and I choose to ignore it because I don't like the other option where that shit's real.
Well,
I can't sleep on my back. I can't. I get too
Oh,
scared.
you guys, okay. I thought you said every time it happens, that happens. That would have been
No,
crazy.
that's how it happens. That's how
shit.
sleep paralysis happens. You sleep on your back, and then either A, I'm haunted, or B, my mind likes to just fuck with me.
Have you seen all that shit about like everybody has? There's only like it's a weird phenomenon where there's like a handful of like things that people see, but everybody sees the same thing.
What are we talking about?
Oh, I'm about to freak you the fuck out.
All right, this is the part where Patrick gets nervous, so we're gonna stop recording right now.
Do you want? Okay, yeah, we'll wait for the guest because we have somebody coming. Okay.
Spoilers.
Hey, what's up? It's Danny
and Patrick. We're here at Bigoofs number 9, as in K9, as in my dog ate the notes for the show again.
Yeah,
it's a good thing we have our first ever guest to cover my ass, Aaron.
I would love to cover your ass, Patrick.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, we have our first
guest. Here we
go.
Yeah.
It feels more official that we have a guest now. It doesn't feel like me and Patrick are just talking to ourselves in a quiet room.
Sure. You know what they say, three's a crowd.
Yeah.
I don't feel so lonely anymore.
I live to entertain a crowd.
Danny can't hit me because now there's witnesses.
And I can't completely shit on Aaron because it looks bad. Or not Aaron, Patrick. God, I'm used to saying shitting on Aaron because I used to spend so much time with Aaron.
That happens a lot.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is there's a pattern of you just shitting on people.
Yeah, it's true. I used to spend like 8 hours a day with Aaron, so it was like very common for me.
That's hot.
It's true.
To just shit on him all day. All right, so we usually start off with our Bigoofs. So Patrick, you want to start off with your Bigoof?
Well, mine is the weakest, so I'll go ahead and get it out of the way.
All right, let's hear it.
So I was at work, as you do, working.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody I haven't seen in probably 10 years. It was this girl. I knew her when she was in diapers, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
She's a full-grown adult now.
She hot?
No.
Oh,
Stop
okay.
it. But, like, seeing this person, it's just like, oh, you're, like, in college now. You're an adult. And here I am, just still working this dead-end job. I got to get my shit together, man.
That's always a little rough. That's always a little rough just seeing somebody, like, when you're at your job. And I feel like no matter what job it is, you're going to feel like, unless you're, like, riding up in a Tesla or some shit like that, you're gonna be standing there going like, I have not gone far, have I? Like right now I'm still working at a job where there's like 16-year-olds just starting out at a first job, and I'm like, I have not done anything. I'm getting paid just as much as they are right now.
But that's why we're doing this. This is how we're gonna get big, Danny.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're gonna help us get there.
Well, and you're still young, Patrick. It may be a big oof. Like getting older is a big oof.
Well, the big oof is just the like awkwardness of like, hello, child that's no longer a child.
Sure.
It was rough.
I got you.
But thank you for trying to make me feel good, but that is not the point of this podcast.
No,
so
we just shit on ourselves the whole time.
Oh, I'll be good at that. Oh man.
Get your shit together. You're the first guest and you already fucked up.
Yeah, you don't even know the theme.
God.
You know what? Is that your big oof? You fuck up.
That's it. That's it. This is our first live big oof.
Yeah. Dude, he's actually more professional than us.
Shit.
He knows how to go with it.
I mean,
my big oof for the week was so I'm in this group with this group for this school project for this girl, whatever. I messed that up completely.
Is she hot?
Anyway, so we all had to go to this.
The question.
Yeah, I had to go. No, because if I say no,
shut up.
If I say no, then that sounds fucked up. Like that sounds like no. But then if I say yes, it's gonna make it weird if she ever happens to hear this for some reason.
Don't worry, she won't. Nobody will.
She's not one of our 2 viewers. But so basically what happened was that I've kind of like already kind of like grown what's the word, like comfortable around her, and so we had to go to the CEO panel thing, and I was texting her like, oh, I'm gonna be super late. Is it already packed? Are they letting people in or whatever? And she was like, responding back and forth, and then she didn't respond, but I think I texted her like maybe like 2 times afterwards because I was there, and it wasn't like I was just trying to start a conversation. It was like I was there being like, should I go in or should I not? Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Whatever.
Like that panic. I have that panic anytime I'm about to go anywhere.
Yeah. So I texted her, but then like I was in there, and basically to make it go faster, I left maybe like 30 minutes early before it ended because I didn't want to go with the whole crowd. And I happened to be walking out and I see her walking out at the same time, and I just felt awkward as shit because I felt like I was stalking her. I felt like I just texted her a couple times. She didn't respond that last time, and then I happened to be walking at the same time as her. What makes it worse was that she was with a dude, and if that was her boyfriend, that must be really fucking weird because I could just hear the conversation of like, who's that? And she'd go like, oh, it's a guy from a group in my class, and he's like, oh, he's texting you a lot, and then it happens to be like we're walking out. And then she turns around and she's like, oh, hey, I didn't see you there. And I was like, I didn't either. Like, I felt really awkward. I was like, I promise you I didn't. I didn't see you at all.
Have you seen the show You?
Yeah.
That's you.
I should have put my hat on so she couldn't see me. Just instant camo. Just
See, the thing is, Danny, it would have been a lot better had you not ducked behind the bush that you were kind of standing and you just jumped behind that. You know?
Or
makes you look a little creepy.
Or I just said
and like the binoculars you had with you.
Yes.
Not a good
Them
look.
hanging off your neck is not a good look.
Yeah, that was rough. That was the part I tried not to mention.
Yes. Well, you know what they say.
Dude,
What do they say?
what
I do
do
not know. But you shouldn't lie.
Please tell me what they say.
I do know you shouldn't lie.
Yeah.
And that is what they usually say.
Dude, so I had this. Okay, so speaking of like group projects. Oh, wait, no, I didn't ask you about your
Nobody
big
did
oof.
anybody
I'm
say
gonna
any?
change my big oof. My big oof is that Danny didn't fucking ask me what my big oof was.
I have two big oofs. I always have multiple big oofs because I'm a
Sure.
fuck up. What's your big oof?
My big oof is a big financial, well, a little financial boo boo, but it was a big oof because
I
I,
like
spent a
boo-boos.
lot of money in the last.
I'm sorry. I just have to get that out. It just sounded funny hearing boo boos.
I was just like, for a second, I was like, oh, why do you like scratches? Oh, we're talking about breasts.
We're talking about breast.
As long as that's all he gets out, we're good.
All right. Sorry. Continue.
Anyway.
I'm being a bad host.
Oh, you're good. You're
All
good.
right.
So basically, kind of keeping a new dog on a trial basis.
Nice.
The Husky Lab mix. His name is Coda.
Which he showed us videos of
Yes.
beforehand.
Beautiful.
Adorable.
Oh, he's a
An
gorgeous
angel.
dog. Yes, he's actually really well behaved too, considering his breed and the background he came from. Because he wasn't in the best environment before he was given to me.
Well, that's nice that he's a trooper. He's
Oh,
still
yeah.
going on.
Oh yeah, but he's like not even the slightest hint of aggression. He's a good boy.
That's nice. That's nice.
But he's decided to be a little defiant, and he's decided to tear up the beds in his crate and stuff this week. And I made the mistake of going and buying a replacement. And then he tore that up today. So not only have I spent like a couple $100s just on everything in the last week, but then I also went and bought a replacement bed, and then that got tore up too. So I've just thrown out about $80 worth of beds in the last 2 days.
Jeez.
So that sucks. So that's my big oof, I would say.
As a husky owner myself, sometimes it could be rough.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
pun intended.
I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to say like other dogs can't be rough, but like I know that my dog is very crafty and very like destructive in his way. Like I tried to bring him to my new apartment and he destroyed a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really embarrassing because it was like I just moved in with I moved in with a friend that I've been living with for like a couple years, but then this new girl that like I haven't lived with yet, and her first like instance of living with me is my dog destroying everything and destroying blinds, and I was just like, oh, and I was like, oh, that's a big oof right there.
Yeah, and as a husky owner, my dog, you get it like husky, like kind of big.
Nice.
yeah.
I
See what I
didn't
did
get
there?
it, but thank you for
Glad
explaining.
you explained it.
I had
because
to.
it was a good joke.
The looks on your faces was like, oh, I'm the idiot. But no, my joke was good. God damn it. Anyway,
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah,
my
it was
dog.
I just wish it had been delivered by somebody a little better.
Yeah, execution's everything, Patrick.
Then
is what I was-
execute me, please.
This is what I was
execute
brought
me.
here for, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I told
trial
you.
run for
I
you
told
to be
you.
my new co-host.
We're not dumping on.
Okay,
I need
cool.
you to not dump on me. We're dumping on Danny.
Well, I gotta get the lay of the land.
Fine.
I gotta see
fine.
how
You got to see how it shakes out.
Yeah.
Anyway, my dog, the first time I left him here alone, ripped up my entire vinyl flooring. I had to buy whole new vinyl flooring,
Oh shit! I actually didn't hear
and
about
he has
that.
not been here since because we are renting.
It's sad. It's sad because you.
And
you
it was
wanna
like
be with your dog.
$300.
You want to be with your dog, but then you're like, if I bring him over, you're just going to destroy everything.
Right.
Like, it's literally like not possible
And
without me
like-
spending like a shit ton of cash.
Mm-hmm. But I still see him every day. You
Yeah.
know, write him letters.
Just does a little paw print at the end of every letter.
You know, get the Instagram clout, taking a picture every once in a while.
yeah, that's-
you know,
that's necessary.
like a good dog owner does.
Yeah.
Sure. It's the only way I could get likes on Instagram.
Right.
Just
I mean, we're all. I
don't
didn't.
look at
Never
me, look at
mind.
my dog.
I don't want to call you ugly. Me and Danny are ugly.
Yeah,
I can call you.
You're a
Fuck
pretty
you.
guest. You're bringing the good looks.
Yep. You're bringing in the views with that silky voice and that beautiful
Maybe the silky
jawline
voice.
and that beard.
The jawline's covered up by the beard. That's
But, like-
the key to the beard. The weak jawline, you hide it behind a beard.
Honestly,
the beard fills it out. It looks
I wish
good.
I had that option. Like I always think about that every day. I was like my jawline game weak, but if I had a beard, I feel like I would look a lot better.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. I can't do it. I
Only
just
from
have a
too
little
warm a
patch.
climate.
I just have a little patch.
Every time I don't shave for like a week, I feel like a neck beard kind of dude. Like all I need is a fedora, and I could probably like harass some women online.
Nice.
You could do that without a fedora, though. Patrick.
No,
not saying you
that's
do.
actually a requirement.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a contract. Yeah, you should look
It's
it up.
like a guild. It's like a
Gotcha.
whole like guild thing, you know. And you have to like sign a contract, and then you get your fedora, and then you just treat women like garbage.
Oh, well, I could say milady without having a fedora.
my lady.
And I do.
Now, listen,
on a regular basis.
Yes.
you get the one. If you do that again, I will have to escort you out of the building.
Because I don't have a fedora.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Sorry,
there are
it's just law.
regulations.
We don't make the rules.
Understood.
We just enforce them
Understood.
with an iron fist.
So we were actually
Bad show.
talking about something before you got here.
Do we have
And-
to?
Yes, because it creeps out Patrick a little bit.
Okay.
So we're talking about like sleep paralysis.
Yes.
Have you ever had it?
I have not.
I have had it
No.
like 3 times, and it is terrifying.
Oh, I
No.
can't wait
I have,
to
I have
inform
like,
you guys.
I woken up and I just I have had to like scream, like get off of me, I'm like I can't move. I see the person on
Oh
top
wait, no,
of me.
he doesn't. Do you know what it is? Like, do you know what
Yeah.
happened? And do you know like about the people that's there, like or something like that? Like, okay, explain your situation.
Yeah,
It's-
I know the.
It's
concept,
like
but I've never
so like
experienced
the science of it is that if you sleep on your back, it happens and you get this like half dream state where you can't move but you're awake.
Yeah.
And then you like have like hallucinations of somebody on top of you. Like your brain is just trying to justify what's happening.
Interesting.
And then the other side of it is that a succubus is stealing your soul
Yeah.
Oh.
and like
okay.
sucking you dry. That's how
Only
it's
only
gross.
the weak lose to that succubus.
Yes. Anyway, it's
I
happened a
didn't
couple
know-
times, and I've seen like a woman on top of me, and you literally just have to like push yourself up, and you can't move,
Sees that.
and it's fucking terrible. And it's fucking
Last
terrifying.
one.
It's
Last
fucking
one.
terrifying. I didn't even hear what you said, motherfucker.
He said that's the only time he sees that.
Yeah. Of course.
All right, last time.
Good shit. This is why I brought Aaron. First guest.
You don't fucking shit on me. I don't care anymore. Do it.
Okay, no. So there
Make me
is.
feel like garbage.
There's the thing that I want to bring up that like I knew it was gonna freak out Patrick because Patrick
Obviously,
was
'cause I'm a little bitch, baby.
No, because Patrick was saying that like it was like, but like what if it's like there's a slight possibility of like what if it's an actual thing? Like what if it's kind of a spiritual thing that's like it tries to go at you and you're weak or something like that. So there is a phenomenon that happens that's like kind of like we've recently learned about it where down like the line of history of just people talking about it. When people have experienced sleep paralysis, there's only like a handful of things that people have seen that they've all been common. Like there's literally like options. There's like it's like oh yeah, people have seen people like a person sitting on top of them. Some people have seen a man standing right like across the room right there. Some people have seen like a creature going up the wall. But it's literally like just those few things. Like everybody
Well,
has like
and
a similar thing.
They all have like names. It's like a succubus is the woman. I think incubus is the man.
Interesting.
And it's all based on like mythological stuff. Like
But
these are real.
But it's
spirits.
crazy because like even people like nowadays, like they still see it. Like they still have like all the similarities of.
Okay,
random
we're
shit.
shutting up now.
And it's
You're creeping me out.
like that's fucking crazy. Like that's just one of those weird things that we kind of just. There's a lot of weird shit that
I
we just
think-
accept in reality, and it's like it's probably our brain fucking with us. And it's
I
like,
think it's just our monkey brains just not knowing what else to do, and we all just default
but why would they all be the same thing?
Well, I mean,
because it's just in our genes to like that's what happens.
I mean, all of those are pretty simple hallucinations, more or less. I mean, so I guess it makes sense for them to kind of all be in common. I mean, it is still a little weird though.
Yeah.
Or we got
But-
some little bitch liars who were seeing the weird stuff. They're like, oh, I only saw a woman. And
That's
it was
what it
like just a clown on a tricycle or something.
It was two guys playing poker. And he just watched the whole game. And he's just sitting there. He's not even
And he's
freaking
sitting
out.
there like, call, you idiot, call,
Exactly. He's
do
not even
it.
freaking out. He's like, please don't do that. Please don't. Like, just fold.
Oh,
just
you
fold, dude.
dumbass.
Come on. And that's the part where they start freaking out. It's like, fold. I need to tell him.
I need
Fold.
to-
It's like, come on. You can see the perspective of like one person's hands, and so he's trying to tell the other guy
Right.
to fold.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
What was that meme that we sent about the or like somebody? There was a picture of him saying that to like a car accident.
Yeah, it was like because actually I just saw it the other day again. It was like a picture of like a sign on the interstate and it said 68 traffic deaths so far this year or something. And it was like, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
That's a good one.
I didn't say that quite deep enough to sound like Adam Driver, but you get the idea.
Who can be Adam Driver? He's kind of
is Adam Driver even Adam Driver? I think they play him up.
He does what he can.
That's a myth, man. You mean that you see him off the screen? He's just some lanky, weird looking dude. As soon as he's in a movie, you're like, I want to fuck that.
True. Well, he turns on his acting chops. That's when he like steps up and he's ready.
He's also
to go.
a Marine.
Yeah, he was a Marine,
which is nuts.
Were you the one who told me about what he said in that interview when somebody said, "Did you?" Somebody asked like a dumbass question. I was like, what's the difference between like acting and being actually in the action or whatever? Like when you're a Marine and stuff like that." And he was like, well, one of them I'm fighting for my life, and he was like, and the other one I'm just acting. I don't know what you mean. Like he was so like simple. Like
seems pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, it's like one of them's real. Like I don't know what you want me to say. Oh man, but yeah,
shit. That's a good segue to talk about Star Wars.
Yes, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yes. Okay.
So
they were released this. So they're gonna like create a new storyline, right? Of the Old Republic.
They're probably just going to release old stuff and say it's new. Because that's what they do.
They usually just like, here's some stuff in Legends. Let's make it canon so people clap.
So you haven't seen the video, right? You haven't seen...
I've seen nothing.
Actually, I don't think I've seen the video either.
The video is them talking about how they're like, they're going to like full detail to revise and create new storylines in the Old Republic and try to figure out, and if people don't know what that means, that just means before like all of the movies when like
it's like
Jedis were like everywhere, and Siths were also everywhere. But like
they were not. I heard they were gonna go to when Yoda was younger. They were gonna go.
Yoda
was like Yoda was 900 when he died, so they were gonna go
when he's like 802.
Probably like
what's like 200 years before the prequel trilogy or something like that. How many hundred years? It's a few centuries.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not the math person here.
Well, they said it in the article. I just don't remember.
I don't.
But yeah, like I've looked forward to them expanding that part of the universe since that game came out, and they had all those trailers for the dude. That was that. I honestly, those trailers hyped me up more than any of the movies. That shit was the coolest, like fighting scenes and like the action. I think there were some new cutscenes in like one of the Star Wars games that were actually really cool, but I didn't play those, so I don't know. But the trailer, like you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like
which games are you
like the old games?
It was like Old Republic.
Oh, like KOTOR, like Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, and they had like
or just the Old Republic.
They had,
which is the
there
MMO.
was I think there was some MMO stuff.
Yeah, and they had like 3 trailers.
Actually, that would make a lot more sense.
They had like 3 trailers that literally all 3 of them could have been movies on their own. Like they were so like.
Are you talking about the woman with the dual bladed lightsaber who's just like kicking ass?
Yeah,
with
and then,
like Stormtrooper-esque, or like probably like close to like Clone Trooper-esque, like people like fighting in the background, and then a bunch of Siths.
And there was another one where it was like they entered like the temple of the Knights or whatever, and then like the ship came in, and like the back hatch went down, and all you saw was the lightsabers light up for like 50 Sith or whatever, and then all of the Jedis are just standing there ready to fucking fight to the death. It was fucking sick. Like that was literally the coolest thing like I've ever seen in Star Wars.
I could not give half a shit about the like contained Skywalker story at this point.
Sure.
The best thing about Star Wars is all of the like world building shit, like expanding on like how the world works and like the Jedi Order and all that shit.
Yeah,
I could just eat it up,
and that's why I like the prequels as much as I do. I mean, like they're not good movies, but they world build in a way that like makes Star Wars kind of. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people hated some of the world building. Some of it was bad, like the whole midichlorians thing. That's pretty divisive. Maybe maybe it's even pretty one-sided. People hate it. I was a kid when I saw Phantom Menace, so I never really thought about it.
That's how I felt too. I was just like, all right, this is a cool movie. Yeah, this is dope.
I mean, that movie came out when I was like less than a year old, maybe a year old, and then I didn't watch it until I was at my grandmother's house.
I thought it was only the 2000s already. Was it?
No, it was 99.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that
came out. I was thinking 98, but it was 99.
Oh, okay.
I was 5 years old, and that year I for Halloween I was Anakin.
Oh, nice.
with his little pod racer.
It's
Yeah.
working. It's working.
And now that guy is like completely.
Oh, he's schizophrenic.
Yeah, that came out. He is
Yeah.
completely fucked because he
It's
got
really
bullied
sad.
so much.
The little
He
kid.
got- yeah,
Lord, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Look him up, man. He's
It's
rough.
pretty
Oh, that's so
bad.
sad.
It's really sad. It's like
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks, that guy was suicidal, and then Anakin is like completely mental because of it.
Yeah.
Like that's like Star Wars
Dude,
fans are fucked up.
They are.
There, see, but like ever since those trailers came out for that game, I've literally, that's the only thing I've said. I was like, oh yeah, new Star Wars movies, that's cool, whatever. But I can't wait till they release like older shit, like before
Yeah.
the prequels, when there's like a shit ton of Jedis, shit ton of Sith, just duking it out, and it'll be cool as shit. And I don't know. And I'm also waiting for them to have better fight scenes in the movies. So far, I feel like none of the fight scenes in the movies, and you could argue, oh, they're not trained as well as they used to be or whatever. They're not like whatever. I think the best fight scene was the third one. Was it Revenge of the Sith? It was like
Oh yeah.
Anakin
Revenge
and
of the
Obi.
Sith. Revenge of the
On
Sith is a
Mustafar?
good movie in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Mustafar is the
Mustafar.
best fight scene there is,
Yeah.
choreography wise.
But then, like, even if you look at the game trailers, those were better than any of them. So, like,
Yeah.
that, I was
Yeah.
like, you know how to do it, or people know how to do it.
Well,
Just
they-
make it.
They've
Yeah.
never
Throw it in
made
there.
like a full scale Jedi assault. It's always been them against droids, where they literally just
Yeah.
chop the fuck out
Which-
of them. There's no fighting back.
Yeah.
I've tried to think about that though, because I've been watching the Clone Wars. I mean, I'm kind of on a break from it right now, but I was watching
Yeah.
the Clone Wars for a couple months, and I can't imagine it being any other way. Like, I can't imagine them chopping up 1 million people. It's one thing to do droids because it's also much more child friendly, which you don't necessarily need. But it's like it's interesting to think about that, because I guarantee that, or I mean, it might even be confirmed out there that like that's 90% of the reason that you're fighting droids in the prequel trilogy
Is
because
to make it more
it's more kid friendly.
graphic.
Yeah, because not many people died in the sequel or in the original trilogy. Like, not in the same magnitude.
There
as the
was a
prequel
lot of
trilogy.
amputations.
There was a lot of amputations, yes, but they lived.
And then people falling in pits.
That too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it wasn't.
So they're
seen.
like trying to like get on the edge of like
Right.
we can watch this.
But with the droids, you could show all that dismemberment like all you want.
And they
'cause they're
made fucking
robots.
slapstick comedy out of it.
Yeah.
Like, look at that fucking piece
That's
of
true.
machinery just cut in half. That's
Which
hilarious.
sometimes it works and sometimes it. I mean, it doesn't really work so well in the movies, but in Clone Wars, it's actually I like it anyway.
The Clone Wars series is amazing.
Yeah. I need to catch up and watch the new
The
episodes.
new episode, I found it out. I saw like some video. It was apparently like, it was an episode that was originally going to be released
Mm-hmm.
like way back, and they put it like online to watch like the rough edits.
Oh,
And
really?
it's so cool to like see the rough edits and see the finished product.
I used to
Like,
love that show. Like, that show was, like, good.
Watch it, dude. It
That
is
show
still
was
good.
It is
Holds
some of the
up.
best Star Wars content you
I
can
love
watch.
all of the, like, Clone Troopers, like, side stories.
Yeah.
Like the one when they defended the base, and like, they were, that was, like, that's
was
like
an
an
early
iconic
one,
episode.
too.
Yeah, like, that's, like,
Yeah.
that's so good.
Well, they made what was cut and dry, cut and paste characters. Didn't have any saying anything in the movies.
Yeah.
They made them like people.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Kit Fisto
Yeah.
is a good example.
Oh my god, what they did to my boy Kit Fisto, it was
Oh, you mean? See, I don't know. I haven't
like
watched all.
that
of the Clone
sounded
Wars,
bad,
so-
but like I love Kit Fisto.
Oh yeah. How they did.
And how they expanded
Yeah,
him
yeah.
and like, oh god, do you remember
Absolutely.
the animated? In the animated one, there was like a short of him in the water. And this was before
Well, like the old, like the Samurai Jack Clone Wars.
Yes,
I
and he
haven't
would
seen
just
that
like
one, but
make
I've
like
heard
a
good things.
force ball of water and just shoot it at
that's cool.
at like
Oh, I didn't know
aquatic
that.
stuff, and it just
Yeah.
like rip through it.
That's
You need to
fucking
watch
cool.
it. It's only like an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah, you can watch it in like an afternoon, but it's
Damn.
animated by the same people that made Samurai Jack, right? And it there was something else about it. I think even some of the people that worked on Last Airbender.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know. I get
Last
it all mixed up.
Airbender,
That's
it's
where they-
such a good-
Definitely people from the Last Airbender worked on Clone Wars though.
I feel like it's reaching.
like
Shaggy,
the bigger animated
Shaggy from Scooby Doo is a Jedi Knight, and he gets killed by Grievous,
Nice.
and he's called Shaggy. They like like put like an apostrophe.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
beautiful.
I love. I want to stay on the Star Wars topic for a little longer, but I just want to point out that I love how the internet, I feel like, is finally giving more and more recognition to how good Avatar: Last Airbender was. Like, I feel like as we were younger,
been there for years.
Yeah, that's-
I've been on that train since I could get
No,
on
I'm
the
not. I'm
internet.
not saying that like I thought that or people didn't think that. I'm saying it's being brought up to like general knowledge. Like like when you were younger, general knowledge. When you were younger,
Wrong hands.
everybody kind of we were just kids watching it as a cartoon, and everybody was just like, oh, it's just a Nickelodeon show, not that crazy, whatever. But then I think as our generation got older and people went back to watch it, people were remembering it. People were like, no, that was just a good show. Like that
it's
that was just like a fantastic show.
I was fanboy from day one.
Oh, me too,
I
man.
was like so into it, and like I had when Korra came out, we had parties to watch it. Now Korra was not the level to the same level, but like
had really
we were
good-
so
really good
hyped because
animation,
of
man.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Like
No,
oh
yeah,
my god.
like I'm saying, I think everybody was like a fan of it. Like I was always a big fan of it too. But it's just like everybody's finally talking about it. Everybody's like, that's like S tier show, right? And everybody's like, fuck yeah, like that was such a
And
good
then
show.
they
Absolutely.
made the movie.
Yeah, we don't talk about the movie. That's fine. Just pretend.
So going back on the Star Wars thing, you know what I thought would be a really good movie, and I'm never gonna like bring this. Like I'm never gonna be in the position to where I bring it up and somebody's gonna make it or something like that. So that's why I'm just saying it, and somebody goes ahead and
Putting
makes
it out there in the world.
Yeah, somebody make it. Go ahead, and if somebody does make it, I'll say I called it. But I think it'd be really cool to make not like exactly a horror film, but like a horror-esque film where it
A
was
thriller.
Like, yeah, I guess where it's like the Jedi's. It's almost like I don't know. They might have this in the Clone Wars, but when I brought it up to people that have seen the show,
Hit me, baby.
They have never. They didn't talk about it at all. They never said it's been done. But I thought it'd be cool to make like a thriller movie where it's during Order 66, and it's like people are running to hide. But it's also like I'm thinking of it ending like. Do you remember Halo Reach, where it kind of just ended and everybody's
dead.
everybody's doomed to die.
Lone Wolf.
Everybody's like doomed to die, but it's like it's kind of like a horror film where it's like they're literally just being chased, and it's like a group of survivors trying to survive this massive like attack or whatever. And I think it'd be really cool to like just put a little twist on it where it's not like corny Star Wars like that kind of shit, but it's like
There's been
a different
stuff they have never put it in the like in the lens of a thriller or like something scary.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot of like even in the new game, like that was one of the things. Like he was a survivor of the Order 66.
Yeah,
And they
Cal
even like show like some of the like background stuff of people trying to escape.
Yeah. I still need to finish that game. I was actually playing it the other day. It's
I've yet to play it, but I've always heard about it.
It's good.
I've seen Jason play, and he like it just looks like a great game.
Yeah, it's really good.
I just don't have the funds to get it, so I'm just like,
Sure.
whatever. And I also don't think my computer is like that up to date. So
Yeah, see, that's why I bought it on
That'd be rough.
PS4, but now I regret buying it on PS4. I wish I
PS4
would've-
was like the worst version.
Yeah, I wish I would have
bug-wise.
just played it on my PC. Like, I might have had to turn some settings down, but it still would have been better than the PS4 because my computer is newer than my PlayStation and was kind of top of the line at the time. I mean, not top of the line, but like pretty high end at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 5 years old, but PlayStation's older than that. So,
but
I don't know.
I'm sure they are done with it, but so like I don't think as of right now I don't think there's any chance of it extending past this. But I'm just happy that the the Skywalker saga is ended.
Yeah.
So I think like as much like I had fun with the new movies. I always like I feel like I've talked about these movies in this podcast before where it sounds like I'm just shitting on them and I don't like them.
I mean, you can
But-
nitpick them to death,
But,
but
it's
they're
like,
still like
I had
good
fun
to
with
watch.
it. They're good, yeah, they're good movies. But I just none of it really like I feel like I never cared about those movies.
Yeah, no,
Like I was
feel the exact same
never
way.
like, wow, I can't wait to see the next one. Like Endgame gave me that. Yes, this new movie's coming out. I'm so into it. The last Star Wars movie came out, and I was kind of like, it's
time
coming
to
out.
see
It's
the new
coming out
one.
today. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Well,
see how they
Let's
wrap
go
this
see
up.
it.
I think
Yeah.
this is an issue with a lot of stuff people make. Instead of showing that this is something you need to care about and like putting high stakes, they're like, these are high stakes. This
Right.
is a high stakes thing. You need to be scared that something's going to happen here.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
like writing a book and then just saying all those things.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a pretty redundant comparison, but that's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy they're done with it, and I hope they just keep expanding on like you said, the universe itself is is just cooler than
They
the
are
actual
going
saga
to
itself.
run.
So
They're going
That's
to
how
run
I
Star
watch
Wars
it.
to the ground because
It's a cash cow.
that's what Disney do. I'm
if
okay with
they
it
have-
as
if they
long
bring
as
the
they
same-
keep making decent,
Yeah,
high quality.
If they bring
Good
the
things have come
same
out of it.
effort that they do to Marvel, then I'll be fine with it. Because like Marvel, like it's been like really hard for them to make a bad movie so far. Like a lot of the movies have been like either mid-tier or just good movies.
But
like,
you know the difference though is not. I mean, it has nothing to do. I don't think with Disney because they both like Disney provides the money for both of those.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, I guess they have the final say. But like in terms of, I mean, Marvel, you know, it's all. I'm blanking on the names, but like, I mean, it's the people that.
Feige.
Yeah,
Feige is like
Kevin
the guru.
Feige.
Feige, yeah,
And,
and he is the one who's like making sure shit's good. And who do we have over here for Star Wars? Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Who said Star Wars, we can't do anything about Star Wars because there's no books to go off of. When there's hundreds of Star Wars books you could go off of.
They're not canon, but you can make them canon, and they do with some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the force healing thing, that's newly canon, but it was in the books, right? Not that I've ever read any.
Yeah, all the powers they've used just were in the background.
Which, not that that's that hard to come up with, but like still, they do that all the time. They bring things out of the books and make them canon.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's like, I know there's like one Sith that like revived himself when he died, like, and he went to go kill somebody. Like it was like it was this whole Sith that had like this crazy story where he was like a Jedi, then a Sith, then a Jedi, then a Sith, again, or something like that. And then
I'm pretty sure that's Knights of the Old Republic.
And he eventually like revived himself to kill like, but
Revan?
I think
I'm pretty sure it's Revan.
I think the whole storyline.
first.
I think the whole storyline is just for revenge. I think that's the reason why he kept going back to the Sith, because he was like, I need to gain enough power to get revenge on this one person or something like that. And maybe he wasn't. He revived himself. Maybe he revived the guy that he was trying to get revenge on, and then he killed him or something like that.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But there's some cool shit in the side stories that they have not used.
I mean,
and they focused on this one family that keeps getting shit on by an old man.
Well, I mean, I think Knights of the Old Republic has always been something that's kind of shown people like, hey, there's lots of interesting stuff that you can do from like the Old Republic, and people have kind of wanted that for years because that game is like considered one of the greatest RPGs of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, especially of that era, and definitely the greatest Star Wars game of all time. I mean, I feel like it's pretty safe to say that.
I mean,
From
have
what
you
I've played,
played
always-
the pod racing game?
I used to play that a lot.
Yeah,
as a kid.
I had that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
My uncle had that on his computer.
So, Aaron, I want to bring up something, just kind of segueing to my story that I didn't think about this until like sitting here right now.
Danny. It's gotta be about Danny.
That you remember how in high school I used to make fun of your knees for hurting all the time and stuff like that?
Oh,
Everybody did that, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know I did it a lot, and you were just
Yeah,
getting really mad at me.
Yeah. Because my knees were shit and are shit. But
Well, the funny thing is that
Feel
something
that.
happened to me when I was a kid that I can already tell is affecting my knees now, and it's just like now, like I feel like it's just karma. Like I didn't think about this now, and I was like, now my knees are shit, and now I'm gonna start complaining about it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. When I'm older, I'm gonna always be like, oh, my knees hurt, I can't do this or whatever.
Yeah. The classic was when we did our Secret Santa and we drew names and stuff, we all had nicknames. And this was when Jason was still living with his parents. And they, on mine was actually probably the least mean out of everybody's, I would say.
Probably, yeah.
But
it's
mine,
just- but
mine
it
was
felt
Aaron,
mean.
my knee still hurts mid-kid. I was like, you guys, like,
Jeez.
because I was complaining about it a lot because I just had surgery. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
it was really like,
it was mostly like sophomore and junior year that I was doing it, and I had just had surgery like a year or two before that. And it was
yeah, like you had the right to complain about it
a little bit.
but we just kept shitting on you
Yeah.
for. But when I was a
That's
kid,
all right.
if you haven't heard this story before, I was sliding down this
What if I have?
railway, or
And stop him right now.
yeah, please stop right now. I was sliding on this rail on this like stairway, and it was like outside, and it was like 2 flights up, and I fell off. Like I kind of fell, and I guess I don't remember how this happened. Like I don't like actually remember what happened during this part of it, but I guess like I fell to the side and did like a flip, and then landed on my knees on concrete, and like it was bruised up for a while. Then. Oh, and also there's like this whole funny thing where apparently like most of my injuries, like yeah, my knees got fucked up right there, but most of my injuries came from me getting up and walking like 20 feet or 10 feet. And that whole thing where people tell you don't get up too fast, you're going to like pass out or whatever. That actually happened to me. And I walked like 10 or 20 feet and I just passed out.
Just
And
fell?
I fell flat and my face landed on the concrete again.
man.
Like most of my injuries, like I landed on my arm and I landed on my face, and it was like I had this
Jeez.
huge ass bump on my forehead.
Man.
And it was like, yeah, like most of my visible injuries came from me just walking forward and then just falling over and just hitting that. Also, apparently, I don't remember this part either. I don't remember anything from getting from the stairwell to me on the ground, waking up. But apparently on the way walking over there, obviously I was like delirious or something. But like I went up, I walked to it. Like on my way there, I looked at this girl and I was like, "You see this? You did this." And I don't remember that at all. I don't even remember. Like no, I don't think anybody told me who I said it to. But I just know that I walked up to a girl and I was like, "You see this? You did this." And I kept walking and then passed out.
What the hell?
I don't understand.
But the most, I guess, other than my physical pain of my knees now in my 20s.
I feel that.
Like
I just have
we
bad
all
joints.
we are all in knee pain. Don't act like you're special. Like
What? No, I'm just saying like that is from a distinct like period of time where like I can pinpoint it.
we are
and stuff like
all
that. I feel
old
I don't think any of my friends, other than Aaron, but I don't think any of my other friends have any problems with
I just
their
have
knees
bad
right now.
joints.
I have
all my joints.
I have a
suck.
serious knee problem. Like I can't walk upstairs without feeling pain. Like just like jolting like crazy.
See, I don't usually feel pain, but like my knees grind still.
Mm.
Like to this day, like anything I do, like if I try to do squats or anything like that, not that I try to do that often, I don't work out. But the times that I have,
The only time
or,
I
like,
squat is on the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. But like anytime, getting like if I'm playing with the dog on the floor and then stand up wherever, it's like I can feel my like I could literally
Like the crunch.
yeah, just that grinding, and it's in both of them, and it's always going to be there, and always it has been for a long time.
Well, what I was gonna say before Patrick called me out was
bitch.
was that except for the physical scarring of the of my knees,
There was the mental
the
scarring.
the most scarring thing of that whole thing was that I skipped school for like 5 days or something like that because I didn't want it. I like went to the doctors because I had like a concussion, and I stayed in my room just laying out.
Why am I laughing at that?
Just like, you fucking loser.
It's like, you
I had a
dumb
concussion
fuck.
because I
Getting a
slammed my face into concrete.
Yeah, I actually didn't fall. I just looked down and went.
Yeah, went all parasite.
It's like this will get me views.
But
I need those clicks.
But the most like scarring thing from the whole thing was like after skipping school for that long and feeling like I was a monster because like my face had bruises everywhere. I still had that giant bump on my head, and I was like I barely could walk because everything was like super sore. I went to school, like when I finally went to school, and we had to like wait in a certain area before they could like let us go somewhere else. I got there, and the girl who I still like recognize as like my first real crush ever, where like she had my heart in middle school. Like that's like the first girl that I always think about. It's like, damn, that was it. That was the first time I ever had feelings for another girl. And I was close enough to where, it wasn't uncomfortable for us to like talk to each other or whatever. And I walked in and she looked back, and I was trying to look forward, trying not to like look at her. And she looked back, looked at my forehead and made like a face like, ugh. And they just looked forward, and I was like, "That's it. That's my life. Like my life is over right then and there." I was like, that was the first time I ever felt like my life is fucked up. And it was like she just looked at me like I was a fucking monster.
Why do you think she was looking at your forehead and not just like the rest of your face?
Because I probably had the giant bump. Like I'm telling, like it's.
I see what you were doing there.
Actually,
You ugly.
It's just your face, man.
it's like your face was
That's
the worst part of it.
idea.
But yeah. So yeah, now I have bad knees too, and now I'm in your club.
Welcome to
Bad
our
Knees
club.
Club.
Welcome to our club.
All right, so Patrick, do you have TIFUs you wanna?
You want to hit the
Wanna go over it?
TIFUs?
Let's hit those
some
TIFUs, dude.
TIFUs. Okay.
I think we did it last podcast.
I edited
but,
these
we
to
can
make
do
them
it.
a little less hard to understand.
All right.
But I probably made them worse. So again, I know this is Tifu Sifu, but I got this one from Petty Revenge because it's so good. It's so good. I keep breaking my rule. I don't care.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
This is from Film Cup. I wasn't a bad dad. He turned out pretty good. Journeyman electrician, works at a Fortune 500 company. Anyway, he was 16. He needed $30 for a school trip. I gave it to him several days in advance. The night before, he told me he spent it and needed another 30. I forced it out of him, and he bought weed.
Nice. Good shit.
I don't have a problem with that. If you put all the things I've smoked in a pile, it would be bigger than a house. But
Nice.
now he needed more money. So I said, okay, you go to the store with me and do what I ask, and I'll give you more money and even throw in a little extra. He agreed, having pretty much no choice. I grabbed something out of the kitchen on the way out. We went to Target, kind of upscale. But before we got out of the car, I told him the deal. You have to wear a hat made out of aluminum foil, and you can't talk to anybody. If somebody says something or asks you a question, just mumble, "I can't take it again. Not like last time." He agreed. I made the hat, included a little point at the top and 2 flaps to cover his ears.
What the fuck?
I put kind of a tail at the back. It looked perfect. I walked around the store, and he had to stay at least 10 feet away so people wouldn't think we were together. I heard him mumble unintelligent shit a few times as people stared and walked past. He never broke character, and we walked through nearly every section: electronics, toys, men's and women's clothing, auto, pharmacy, food. It took nearly 45 minutes for me to grab the 3 things we went for. I give him the cart and enough money to pay for it and watched as he went through the line. When we get back to the car, I said, "Fuck it." He did a good job and gave him $50. That was like,
That's
imagine
pretty good.
being that kid.
That's pretty good.
Like, oh my God.
he should have recorded and put it on YouTube. He got so many.
This
hits.
this was old. He's like an
Okay,
adult now,
yeah,
so it was probably
yeah,
before any of that.
Yeah.
But like,
Is it the kid telling him?
can you?
the
No,
story,
this is
or-
the dad.
Okay,
This
just
is from the
making sure.
dad's perspective. So like, obviously the kid was the TIFU.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh my God.
that's so fucking
he got
funny.
put through some shit. He was
He
great.
was a trooper though.
Yeah, he stuck,
like-
they said he stuck to character. That would have. That's the best part about it. He would have just if anybody would have talked to him, he's just, I
God.
can't take it again. I can't take it again.
Sounded like nobody wanted to talk to him.
That's true. Everybody looked at him and it was like, no, not today.
Imagine
can't
being,
deal with that
imagine
shit
being
today.
that cashier, and it's just like, he probably made that guy quit.
I've seen weirder things.
Have you?
True.
Yeah, sort of.
There's probably
Really?
There's probably some.
I
weird-
haven't.
weird
I
Maybe,
shit.
haven't-
maybe not quite that weird, but like I've seen some pretty weird people, man.
I guess.
And I didn't. I mean, I worked in a pretty decent place. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's not like in the middle of like a weird part of town or anything. I mean, it's like,
I mean,
but you'd be amazed.
my job is right next to the ghetto, and I've never. Wait a minute. I probably blocked out some memories.
I was gonna say I've seen a drug bust happen in front of me where they brought out everything out of the car in the lot, and then people were we didn't just get customers to keep coming in. We got more customers coming in because everybody that came in was like dinner and a
What's
show.
going on?
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
just literally just kept. They just started eating and was like, yeah, this is fucking great. And they're all just nosy ass people. A bunch of old people just going like, let's see what's going on here, and just pulled up and was just staring, not even like any remorse. They were just like, yeah, fuck it, dude.
Interesting.
I was actually thinking about that the other day. I saw some weird shit at that job. Like I saw 2 different car accidents. One of them where the car
That's a bad
flipped.
place to be driving anyway.
I see a car accident daily.
Yeah, I saw like one car like flip over and run into a person's front yard.
Jesus.
And then I was there when
When the fuck did that happen?
yeah, they went into I mean, I don't think there's any this is old news, but it flipped into at that point it was a dealer's house.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
And then
Oh.
and then the dealer
I remember the
literally-
aftermath. Yeah.
I remember him going like everybody was making the jokes of him going, the cops are gonna come. Everybody hide, pack it up. It's like because he like walked in, he was like, are you fucking kidding me, guys? We gotta go. And he was just like, he didn't give a shit about the front yard. He was like, I'm gonna get busted today or
No,
whatever.
you just throw it all in the car.
Huh?
Just throw it all in the car that's in your living room.
Okay.
Hang it on them.
It was them.
Yeah.
They were too fucked up. They had
It's just like, yeah, they crashed in the house and then drugs just flew everywhere.
Right.
and then we
Like
started
behind
taking
the
like,
couch,
Like in the rafters.
in my safe.
Like, yeah. My safe flew open.
I
Drugs
I was
flew
like,
into it and it resealed itself and locked itself.
I was like checking all my I was checking all my finances and stuff, and then he just pushed through my house, man, and then he got out of the car and was like, hide these drugs.
yeah, man.
It's like
It
I was
was
just sitting there, getting all my tax documents ready for all my tax exempt charitable donations that I make
Yeah.
throughout the year.
and this thing
Yeah.
to like this scale right here to decide the weight.
That's for
That's
actually,
for cooking. That's for that's
I
baking.
have-
So-
It's a cooking.
yeah.
I have a drug scale now, but specifically for cooking because
Yeah.
that's how much of a
Yeah,
pasty
exactly.
little bitch I am.
Oh, wait, you actually do? You're talking about real life? I thought you were still going character.
No,
Really?
I have a drug scale.
That's not a character. That's just Patrick.
That's just me.
It's just Patrick.
And then the other
I've been eating my feelings.
the other car accident I saw was
What do they taste
the
like?
old lady,
So good.
the old lady that just like couldn't pick up her feet or something like that, so it was just stayed on the gas pedal and she ran into like the pole, like the pole and like the whatever the electric thing, the electric box like blew up.
Oh
You
my
remember
God.
that?
I
Were
remember
you there?
somebody.
Oh, I had that happen like at my aunt's birthday party just this past just last month.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we were at her house and it was raining real bad. This was, I was like January 11th or 13th. It was somewhere in that range. And it was on Norwood.
Yeah.
And car hit a pole and it was raining out real bad. And so we were outside and it looked like it was kind of sparking over the top, and eventually it just blew up like 3 good times. It was like boom.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was real fun to watch.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. that job was weird. It was just like random shit always happened. And
There was a dude that we thought he was dead because he just was like in his car asleep, and nobody wanted to go poke the dead dude. And then before any of us started, there was somebody that actually died on the lot.
Damn.
And they had to like get paramedics to rip open the car and get the dead body out.
Jesus.
Good
I
times.
didn't know about
Anyway, the
There
dude with a
wasn't
tinfoil
one
hat,
unresponsible
haven't seen
mind
that.
openings.
Yeah, that's fucked up. The tinfoil hat?
That's fucking
Yeah.
weird.
Nah, I think honestly, especially like, I don't know, I don't want to like be that guy where it's like growing up in New
Sounds
York.
like you want to be that guy.
Growing up in New York.
Oh, New York. I'm from New York. I'm Danny. I'm from New York.
You grow up with that mentality of like, that's just
Like,
weird.
I'm from
Move
New
on.
York?
Like, move on. Like, it's like, oh yeah, see weird shit. Like, we see like 5 weird things in a row, and just like, yeah.
I
Just
saw,
another day.
I guess it was probably a TikTok where it's just like, hey, want to know how to check if somebody's from New York,
Yeah,
not
I
a
saw
tourist?
that, actually.
And then you just fucking just screams. Like, anybody who turned around, not from New York.
Yeah. Because it's literally like you hear that, and you're just like moving on. I have my headphones in. Just got to keep going.
Such a weird place.
But there's also like some kind of like,
Yeah, only freaks come from New York.
people don't talk about like everybody being like a nice if something bad's happening, everybody's like there to help though. Like there's one time where
There's a camaraderie, I feel like.
yeah, there's this dude, like I saw this other video where this guy I think got ran over by a car, but then he was like he was pinned underneath the car. And literally it was just like a video of everybody coming in, like this was in Manhattan, so it was like really busy, and like everybody just came around and just started lifting the car and stuff like that. It looked like I don't know. It just looked like a movie scene. It was like everybody was like, everybody help, and it was like, and go, and I was just like, oh, that guy might be dying, but it's so nice.
At least he died together.
It was worth it. It gave us a nice moment.
Mm-hmm. Think of all the bonding. Like, we should like have somebody dying as like a bonding exercise. Like, try and save this guy's life. He probably won't survive, but you'll make friends.
No joke. Speaking of bonding, there's a dude, not in my office, but in the Atlanta office, where at my company, his name is James Bond, and he's going to start Monday.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Should he choose to accept his task?
That's why we bring you here.
No, I mean, like, I see the sucky thing is it's in the Atlanta office.
So you never get to make those
So I'm
jokes.
never going to get to like witness it, but I know that there's going to be a lot of James Bond jokes going on.
When I worked with
So
Patrick,
it's just a bummer.
there was just that's just a sign of how dumb we are. They were like we have a girl that's starting off. Her name is Linda. It was like,
Listen, Linda.
it was like, please, nobody make the Listen Linda jokes. And it was like, she is new. We don't want to lose another worker. And it was like,
I don't remember that. I've
no,
met
she
so
didn't.
many-
She lasted I think
day.
2 days or a day.
It's
And
your
she-
fault.
and
It's
she
your
didn't-
fault for doing Listen,
And
Linda.
we said, we didn't say a single listen, Linda. Maybe under our breath, but we never said it to her. We never told her to listen, Linda.
I would have thrown one in, but been like, okay, you need to listen, Linda.
And then she would
Yeah.
just be like, okay. And it was like, we got one in, boys. Nailed it. Do you have another
Going in
Tifu?
stealth mode. Oh, you know I got another one, buddy.
This
This
weird,
one's-
goofy voice, but yeah,
Quiet.
yours.
I'm being animated.
the shot.
So this is from What Mia. Today I fucked up with the obligatory. It happened a few years ago. Blah 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 blah. So I used to be a wedding photographer, and sometimes people get married at the courthouse, then have a friends and family reception at a later date.
Mm-hmm.
So they are technically married when I first meet them. One day I have a consultation. They bring a child, 8 years old, and we put him in front of the office while we talk. Again, not uncommon for courthouse marriages couples to already have kids. The meeting goes well, and they write a deposit check, and the check has both their names on it, and the last names are the same.
Mm-hmm.
My brain figures it out, and joint checking account, same last name, kid, they're already married. So I say, you two are prepared. You already have new checks printed out with the same last name. To which the bride replies, I'm kind of still married to his brother.
No.
Nice.
And she ended the story with, most of his family doesn't approve.
No.
I was mortified and tongue-tied, not knowing what to say. As we continue to plan the wedding, this little boy's new mom and his new uncle dad are are watching his blah, 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 blah. That's it. I butchered the end, but the point is, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
That's some Alabama shit.
How do you survive that moment? How do you just go like, I'm kind of married to his brother still, and then you go like,
you know,
let's keep signing the papers. Like you just
I
have
just
the
think
moment.
in their head, they're probably doing that lemon grab, just like,
No, you just get excited because you know you have a good story to tell later.
I mean,
Oh my God.
I don't understand
We're
how she thinks
benefiting.
she fucked up though.
because it's just like she made the assumption that they were married, and then she's
That's
like,
a fair assumption though.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. She probably just felt
So she was the one who was
embarrassed.
selling that.
Huh?
She was the one that was, I think
The what did she say she was? I don't know. She was a consultant.
okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, that
I mean, obviously these people didn't give a fuck.
that's fucking crazy.
Nah.
That's like the highest like extreme of like it's kind of wrong to fuck the brother of a person that you're already dating, and then you're just like, I'm gonna fucking marry his brother. Like,
Yeah, it's wrong, but well, I don't know. I guess.
But
are you
it
gonna bring
feels
up the
so
other way?
right.
I will say like the only like the counter argument is that sometimes you just fuck up and you go after the wrong person. Like I mean, like if you like believe in the whole like
All right.
true love and shit like that. Like
So
sometimes you could be like, oh, I was almost there.
All right.
But
So
like,
whose brother are you trying to marry? Not mine. Mm-mm. Nope.
All right, never mind.
Try
No,
to lay the groundwork for that talk later. Hope you're not wanting to marry my brother. A little young for you, bud.
oh my God, didn't we watch Star Wars with him at one point? I just remember like
I
the
don't
old
think
days.
He really hung out.
You would remember that creep.
That night that we
I remember
did.
the first time I met eyes with him.
Well, so that night that we watched Star Wars, that was like when we had to go to the state championship the next day, and we had to be at school at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And so we decided to stay at my house and all just try to watch like all the Star Wars because at that point,
It was
Force
like-
Awakens hadn't even come out. It was just the
so it's
original
just the
trilogy and the
6.
prequel. So we were like, let's just watch the original trilogy.
That's manageable.
Yeah. So we were just gonna watch those 3,
Um,
and but I think we were playing Mirror's Edge and my brother came down. I think. Is what it was,
yeah,
'cause he
yeah,
loved that
yeah,
game.
yeah. I remember that. That was a fun night,
Yeah, it was.
and we were really tired the next.
And then
day.
we drove to school the next day, just me and you. Like we drove in the morning. We were playing the Proclaimers. Remember that?
No, I actually. Oh wait, yeah. I just didn't know it was that day.
Yeah.
I remember there was one day where we like stayed up playing. It was. I don't think you were there, but I remember one day we were like we had to go
Was
to
I
like,
there?
band camp
No.
next day. No. We had to go to
Sad.
like band camp the next day, and it was like we stayed up playing Minecraft literally the whole night. And then my
an
mom
all-nighter.
had to drive us. Like this is when he didn't have a car, so my mom was like, "Guys, wake up!" And we just looked at each other like, "Oh, we fucked up." Like we have fucked up.
That was probably just like you and Sydney and Hunter or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was actually.
Yeah. Because that was before we all got really close.
Yeah.
That would have been sophomore year.
But going back to that, I don't know what your guys' opinion on this is, but I always like feel like that's a really tricky situation. But sometimes like it just happens where, and some people think they're fucked up for doing this, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. Where like you'll be with somebody and you'll meet somebody that you are really into, and some people go like, oh, it's fucked up to leave that person for this person or whatever. Or sometimes it's like if it's even like a friend of somebody that they're dating, you kind of like, well, if you know that person's like way better for you.
Right.
Like if you know that you're in a shitty situation, isn't it worse to just stay in that relationship and go like, yeah, I'm gonna stay with them because I think it's wrong to be with that person, but then you're staying in a relationship that you really don't believe in. And that's weird.
I don't think you should stay in a relationship that you're not going to put
Effort
100% into.
Yeah.
But the problem is that
That's
people
why I'm
jump
gonna
into
die
things
alone.
too seriously, way too fast. I
Yeah.
think. I mean
Yeah.
that, and I don't know. A lot of people might not agree with that. And it's never, or it's not always like super cut and dry.
I mean,
like,
to
know
each his
that.
own.
You can't be condescending and just be like, well, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
But-
and sometimes you don't know until
Right. Yeah.
later on,
And yeah,
like-
you can't always know.
Yeah, 'cause,
but
like-
I do think just in general, I think people jump into things too serious, too fast.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
that's how they get themselves into those situations a lot of the time.
Hey guys, this is a comedy podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
Where's the jokes at? We're getting heartfelt here. I don't want that. I don't want us to ever be
That's true.
heartfelt.
Well,
true.
the jokes went away.
Who are
when
we making
wrote-
fun of?
Read some Tifu Sifu's, some pretty serious subject matter.
The joke was that she was embarrassed.
The joke was the guy reading it.
Damn it! Damn it! You got me again.
All right, you passed the trial. You're my new co-host. You
Later.
just shit on him.
Shit.
This
okay.
is my apartment now, right?
See you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, you get the whole place.
See you guys once a week. I'll be in there crying.
Just every week we meet up and Patrick's like, all right, guys, have fun. And it was like, well, don't worry, we will.
We will now.
Shit.
Thank you very much.
That's it. We're ending it here. Danny, do the outro.
Are we really going to end it here?
We're at 55. We got some stuff before that. We're good.
That's true. We're pretty good. Well, damn it! I went this whole podcast without mixing up the names, but I got so close.
Do
So
you
many
usually mix up the names when there's nobody else here?
Yeah.
times. Yeah, I call
do.
Patrick Aaron, Jason,
Man.
Donkey
Little
Kong.
bitch.
What? Don't look
Did
at
you
him.
say my name?
Anyway, it was nice having you, Aaron. You were a good first guest.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you hurt my feelings.
You did better than Patrick.
So
this
you're not
time.
coming back.
Yeah.
Sorry, Patrick, I'm always so nice to you off camera, though.
Oh,
Tell me I'm not.
Well, that's your
Yeah.
Tell me I'm
problem.
not.
You got to be mean to him, and he keeps you around. Look at me.
There you go.
Shit on him every day, and he's like, "Danny, please come back. I need this."
That's my problem.
You're the only one that makes me feel something, and I'm just like, Patrick, I'll try my best, but sometimes I just don't want to be there. And he's like, "Please, I'm lonely at night." I'm like, "All right, I'll come tonight." And
I have never been happier being alone, by the way. So let's just not put that out there that I'm lonely. I am very much enjoying being alone. It's fantastic.
especially with Animal Crossing coming out soon.
Dude, I'm gonna go in home. You won't see me.
Yeah, we're
We're
gonna take a month break from the
We're
podcast.
taking a year-long hiatus.
We will be back in 2021 stronger than ever.
And then in 2021, the podcast will be absolutely Animal Crossing focused.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
I got some catching
Sorry,
up to
bud.
do.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
All right. Anyway, I'm Danny. I'm a big oof.
I'm Patrick. I'm a Bigoofs. It's okay to double text, but never triple text.
Yeah. Peace out.
That's what I think.
Bye forever.